The iRinse jug rinser. Is it the best jug rinser on the market? Stick around, I'll see if I can answer that for you. G'day everyone, I'm Jimmy. Welcome back to the Artistic YouTube channel where we guide you through all things coffee. So don't miss out on any of our future videos. Make sure you subscribe, like, and hit the bell icon now. If you have any questions about today's video, be sure to drop us a comment below. So today I'm going to give you a review on the iRinse by iMilk Australia. Now, before I do that, full disclaimer, I will tell you that the owner of Artisti does have some vested interest in iMilk, but putting that aside, I've worked with this rinser many times before. I've introduced it to many cafes, and I know its benefits, its pros, its cons. So this is more my review on a practical side from a barista and from an account manager and someone that looks after cafe partners and really helps them to get faster and better at what they do in making coffee. So jug rinsers are something that you should definitely have in your cafe. If you haven't got one already and you don't have at least a sink in arm's reach, you're slowing your baristas down. I so often see baristas having to leave their coffee machine to go tip milk down a sink or just at least rinse a jug. But even rinsing a jug in a sink, you still have to use two hands to turn the tap on, rinse the jug. That's a use of both hands. And if you want to get faster at coffee, you need to be more, you just need to be better with your hands. So not having to leave the coffee machine to do that, little things like being able to push that down and reactivate that if you needed to get that extra clean. Doing that, I now only need 2 jugs on my bench. I've got my full cream jug. As soon as I rinse it, it's clean again and I can go back into alternative milks without leaving my machine. So how does the iRinse compare to a traditional jug rinser? So other jug rinsers, you'll grab your jug and you'll place that on top and you'll have to add force and push that down to activate the water to shoot up. Now that might take you a second or 3 to 4, 5 seconds to actually get that water to shoot. And while you're doing that, your hand is busy pushing down and you can't be doing something else with that. The difference with the iRinse is that it uses the load cell to recognize the weight of any jug. It doesn't even have to be a certain type of jug. And this activates the solenoid and washes your jug. Turn it back on in first thing in the morning. You wait 10 seconds, let that load cell get ready, much like scales, and you can turn that on. So that's ready for me. I can then switch, pour milk, finish what I'm doing, pour my coffee, put that straight back on the cell and have that washing ready to go again. This is going to save you heaps of time, and it's the biggest difference between a traditional jug rinser and the iRinse for sure. Now the iRinse comes in a simple form that is actually built into your bench. So the footprint of that iRinse is only 180 by 145. Now that's a very small footprint. Other traditional jug rinsers will be quite large, they'll be long, they'll have drip trays, they'll have multiple spaces for jugs. You just don't need that when you've got the iRinse. It does drain quite well. It can be like a sink, so it's got as much of a drain as say your coffee machine does. And you're reducing the amount of space that this takes up. So it comes in a box with all the parts that you need. So you could order this and it delivered to you and you could install it yourself. That's a huge benefit. But all you're really doing is just cutting that small space out of your bench, sitting that in your bench. You don't even have to silicone that in. It's got a foam edge that'll seal it off so you can get it out at any point if you need to clean. It just sits in your bench. Then you're just connecting your power, water, and drainage. Another huge benefit is just how easy it is to clean. Unlike other rinsers, you can easily remove the jug rest, so you can clean the basin, and it's even got a sloped base for better drainage. It's a bit more mechanical, it's got a bit more moving parts to it. You do have to look after it, much like if you're in specialty coffee, you've got good equipment, you've got good grinders, you know that they require that bit more maintenance, they've got more parts, but that gives you an edge on everyone else. So the iRinse does have a solenoid in it, much like your group heads, so you need to be using filtered water. Now you have the option that you can share filtered water from your coffee machine after your pressure limiting valve. That will just limit the amount of pressure to your jug rinser. If possible, even better if you can have a dedicated filtered line direct from mains water to your jug rinser. That will give you heaps of power. There is a tap that you can turn that power up and down. If you had that on full power, you could blast that jug. It'll give you a great rinse. So you've got a lot of control there, depending on how you have your machine set up and how much access to water you have. You've really got that option. So the build of the iRinse is pretty foolproof. It's super sturdy, Australian design, and I haven't seen any real issues with them. I've only had one where someone just didn't follow the manual. They just didn't put the cover back over the load cell. Some water got access to the body, and that's what damaged it. But user error, but otherwise they're super solid.
It's actually really easy to remove, clean, and replace the silicone dam. Just remember to turn it off while you do it.
Overall, the build quality is really good. So if you're currently shopping for a jug rinser and you're searching through the features, the prices, you will see that the iRinse is a premium product. It has a higher price point, but that price point is really based around the technology, and that technology is giving you the ability to serve coffee faster, be more efficient, and that's really where the difference in price comes from. I would say out of all the jug rinsers I've used, the price is worth it. So if you are considering an iRinse, another option you could look at is the iMilk system. It's the milk distribution system, but it also has the same rinsing technology in it. So for me, in all my years of making coffee, from back in the days when we didn't have jug rinsers to now when it needs to be a staple in your cafe, I wouldn't go without one. I recommend them to everyone, but I'm always looking for those efficiencies, and no jug rinser really comes close to the iRinse as far as actually being able to speed up service, being reliable, being efficient, and that's the biggest benefit. That hands-free functionality outdoes everyone for me, hands down. All right, so that's it for the iRinse. Thanks heaps for listening. Be sure to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and put a comment in below if you've got any further questions that I haven't already answered. We'd love to hear from you. We really appreciate all your comments. I'll see you next time. Cheers, guys.